we are seeing an increase in, which is so cool, more and more women racing in Hattah.
Absolutely, and this is something that's developed over a number of years. I can remember back in the days when, Wade, in the very first year we ran a women's class. We ended up with, I think, roughly 8 or 9 girls that raced in that. To last year we ran with 55 females. So out of the 750 entrants that we had last year, 50 of those were juniors and senior women that were racing in amongst it. I think there was something like 22 senior riders and the rest made up of junior riders. Such is their drive now to want to race in this event. And the fact that we have women that are racing like, I think it's Rachel Descent. She's a mother of 5 and continues to race this event. She loves it so much. And that would not have happened if it hadn't have been for the support that MV gave us to push on and do things. And I can, at this stage, tell you that Peter Thomas, who was one of the advocates for that at MV, did an awesome job. And MV supported us so much with this event. In our women's class, and we're really lucky to be able to talk to Lauren Weaver today, who's involved with MV. So first things first, welcome, Lauren.
Good morning, how are you?
We're good, Lauren. We should explain to people who are just joining us from outside our industry, MV means Motorcycling Victoria. Can you explain what your role is in Motorcycling Victoria?
Yeah, sure. I've got a few different hats in Motorcycling Victoria. As you said, I'm the president, fairly newly elected and sitting in the chair at the moment, just for a couple of weeks until we run our AGM. My role is kind of to keep the ship running along nicely. We have some, great people, all volunteers in the game, and it really is to ensure that everybody's kind of contributing and having their say and everything's going along nicely. From the women's space, I've kind of have a role looking after the Motorcycling Victoria Women's Committee, as well as being a member of the Motorcycling Australia Women's Committee. So it's a fairly broad role, and it really is just about promoting women in the sport in all different roles, from mums in the pits changing tyres and making sandwiches for their kids, straight up to clerks of courses and the highest level of officials to elite riders and whatnot. So, we've got a few really exciting projects happening at the moment to get women up there and out there into the sport. And it's I really love the role. It's just a place that I found myself kind of as a matter of evolution, I suppose. I work with women in my career as well. I work with vulnerable women in my paid employment space. So it's a really nice marrying of kind of everything I do to be able to support that space from the ground up.
I imagine that you probably watched Chloe Barton just speak just prior to us having a chat with you. A young girl like that must warm your heart in your role because her passion is so powerful for this sport. Mm.
Absolutely. I look at Chloe and her excitement and enthusiasm, and I think about 30 years ago, and I won't go back any further, but when when I was young, and racing would have been an absolute dream, but it was so far away from a young girl and a young girl in the space I was in. So to see young girls getting out there and succeeding, and being able to live dreams that weren't possible 20, 30 years ago, it certainly warms my heart. Rochelle is another one. I'm fairly good mates with Rochelle, and she really is a character, and she lives for the sport and she lives for motorcycling, and it's fantastic to see her out there just keep kicking at it. She puts whatever she's got into it.
It must be really a proud moment when you talk about juniors in the girl divisions moving through, and so many that as I said, last year, we had 55 entries for women that were racing. And some of those girls in the junior class are starting at 7 years of age going through to 16. There's 30-odd kids that were moving through that eventually will become junior girls moving into senior women's classes. I mean, that's a great feeding thing, and that would not have been possible had it not have been for MV and a number of people getting behind that and helping to support us to do that.
Absolutely. We run women's only days at the Broadford racetrack for dirt and road. And, to see a track full of 50 little girls from, 3 and 4 up till the age of, Peggy Hyde out there still running around the track. It really is a celebration, and it needs to happen. It's needed to happen for a long time, and opening the doors and creating the pathways is what we're all about.
I think it's safe to say that desert racing as a culture is a fairly unique part of motorcycle riding. So it's a niche part of the sport that's so critical to make sure that we channel and we funnel young women motorcycle riders in that direction. What sort of percentage of what you do is dedicated to that part of the sport?
Well, we have staff funded within Victoria. We have a couple of staff and some state government funding to support the programs we run. That's fantastic. Look, from my perspective, we're in a really interesting place right now. We're at that place where we reform and regather every year. We really need that support from the community of women, from volunteers, to stick their hands up and say, we really want to support this. How can we help and how can we get involved? Our role is not necessarily to create events, but our role is to support whatever's happening. So if somebody has something out there that they're doing, bring it on. I'll have to throw in my naivety somewhat to desert racing. I'm from a road race background, so I'm still learning all of the ins and outs of Hattah racing, and we have some really good people within our committee supporting that and whatnot. So I'm fairly naive to that area, but I have learned a lot, and I have been involved in the dirt side of it. And those girls are tough. They're tough and they're gritty and they don't stop. And that's awesome stuff, and that needs to be celebrated.
Well, Lauren, we'll be looking forward to getting you up to Hattah next year. Trust me, what we will show you will be absolutely mind-blowing. It is an amazing event, and I think Wade can testify when he came up a couple of years ago how impressive this is. So we'll look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely. We do, it is on. Thank you, and I can't wait. I take on that challenge, and I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll get you to do a lap with Kenny Reid first, to do a lap of the course, and then that'll blow your mind. And you need to hang out with Marg as well from Penrite, because she's a phenomenal supporter of junior racing and particularly women as well. Lauren, stay safe in Melbourne, and certainly we look forward to seeing you in about 360 plus days and having your first taste of a Penrite Hattah experience presented by Optus Communications. Thanks for your time. Really great to catch up with you, and good luck with you with your new role.
Sounds awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed to Lauren Weaver from Motorcycling Victoria, with that very cool role in just fostering, promoting and really furthering women's activity in motorcycling, and particularly in our race.